This video is about Jessel, who was forced to leave her apartment in the middle of the night. Her followers were left confused after she posted a video of herself crying inside her car during the early hours of the morning. Shortly afterward, Jessel shared footage from the security camera she had installed in her living room. It all began with this video, recorded on March 25, 2026, when she was home alone doing her laundry. Until... Her earbuds, which had been charging, suddenly fell to the floor. At first, it didn't seem like anything unusual. Giselle paused for a moment, trying to figure out how they could have fallen on their own. Unable to find a logical explanation, she went back to what she was doing. But what she didn't know was that this small incident would be only the beginning of a series of increasingly disturbing events. It was at that moment, when she saw the light turn on by itself, that she realized something wasn't right. Still trying to find a logical explanation, Giselle walked back and tried to turn it off once again. But the moment the light went out, it turned back on by itself. Frightened by what she had just witnessed, she jumped in shock and quickly backed away, desperately trying to understand what was happening inside her own home. But she had no idea that what would happen in the next video would be far more disturbing. I don't know about you, but what appears to be a plastic bag, or perhaps a piece of cloth, begins to move slowly, just moments after Giselle feels someone touch her back. It's hard to tell exactly what it is, but the timing makes the entire moment incredibly disturbing. Unable to find any logical explanation for what had just happened, she was left completely shaken. However, that wasn't the worst part. In another video, Giselle would witness something far more terrifying, something that left her completely speechless and in a state of shock.
obviamente no me voy a levantar a ver qué es, pero tengo miedo, estoy temblando del miedo. Si pasa algo... No mames. No mames. Creo que hay alguien atrás de la puerta. O algo. Tengo miedo. Tengo miedo. Tal vez era mi imaginación, no miré mal. Pero salí corriendo de ahí porque ya no puedo. Ya no puedo, ya no sé qué hacer. Son las 4 de la mañana. Pero sé que había algo ahí, sé que miré algo y no estoy loca. No estoy loca. Tengo que entrar a trabajar al rato y no he dormido nada. Estoy nerviosa, no sé. No.
Later that night, Giselle was lying in bed, scrolling through her phone, ready to go to sleep. That's when something caught her attention. Behind her bedroom door, a strange shadow appeared to be standing there. At first, she tried to convince herself that it was probably just an object casting the shadow. But the longer she stared at it, the more disturbing it became. Overcome with fear, Giselle didn't want to risk finding out what was really behind the door. In a panic, she rushed out of the house and spent the rest of the night sitting in her car. She stayed there until it was time to leave for work. Later that day, when she returned home, she searched for anything that could have created the shadow she had seen behind the door. But she couldn't find anything at all. Now I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think Giselle witnessed that night? Let me know your theories in the comments. So far, all we know is that after these terrifying events, Giselle decided to leave her house and temporarily move in with her mother. According to Paulina, the night before, she managed to capture on video something that had been appearing in her bedroom for quite some time, always near the mirror. Despite telling her family about these disturbing experiences, no one ever believed her. They assumed that, because of her advanced age, she was simply imagining things. But that night, Paulina finally recorded what no one believed was real.
В зеркале было отражение чего-то не очень непонятного. На видео. Я вам всем докажу.
The following video was recorded by an elderly woman who lives alone with her dog and 2 cats. But it seems they aren't the only ones living in the house. According to her, there is something strange inside her home that constantly torments her, making it impossible for her to ever feel truly alone.
Уходи отсюда. Я тебя не боюсь. Уходи отсюда. Уходи из моего дома. Уходи. Я тебя не боюсь. Уходи отсюда. Уходи отсюда. Я тебя не боюсь. Уходи. Уходи, я сказала. Уходи отсюда. Уходи. Я тебя не боюсь.
After walking over to the mirror and finding nothing that could explain what she had just witnessed, Paulina thought it was finally over. But then, another unsettling detail caught her attention. A small ornament hanging from the light fixture began to move on its own. It wasn't just swaying from side to side. At certain moments, the ornament would lift and bend upward, almost as if it were defying gravity. Witnessing this left Paulina completely speechless. Little did she know, on another night, she would witness something far more disturbing than anything she had experienced before.
Like something out of a nightmare, what looks like a head suddenly appears in the fireplace, and the freakiest part is that it shows itself right when Paulina starts to get close. It's as if whatever this was had realized she was approaching. Understandably,
As if it had come straight out of a nightmare, a figure resembling a human head appears inside the fireplace. The most unsettling part is that as Paulina slowly walks closer, the figure seems to become even clearer, almost as if it wanted to reveal itself to her. Despite being terrified, she gathers the courage to approach once more, hoping to understand what she was seeing. But just seconds later, the figure suddenly vanishes without a trace, just like the strange apparition that appeared in the mirror in the previous video. To this day, there have been no further updates on the case. In 2019, Josel's mother claimed she was fighting what she believed were demons haunting her home. Josel never believed her stories and always searched for a rational explanation. However, everything changed when his mother sent him a disturbing video, capturing something that made him question everything he thought he knew.
In 2019, my mom said she was fighting demons in her apartment. I didn't believe her. She sent me video proof. Now someone tell me what in the grudge shit was going on here. I put picture at end of video, pause it, turn phone upside down and zoom in.
That night, Josel's mother claimed she experienced one of the most terrifying moments of her life. Frightened, she pretended to be asleep so she wouldn't draw the attention of the strange figure standing in her bedroom. In the darkness, she could make out only a dark silhouette. It appeared far too tall to be an ordinary person. Or perhaps it was clinging to the ceiling, silently watching her every move. Too terrified to react, she remained completely still, hoping that whatever it was would simply disappear. The following video was recorded by two sisters who were home alone when, without any apparent explanation, their home's alarms suddenly went off. Frightened, they hid inside one of the bedrooms for a few moments. Believing that someone had broken into the house, they decided to escape through the window in an attempt to get to safety.
I'm recording. Wait. Do you hear that? Let me check the security footage. What is it? Clear. Clear.
What they believed to be a break-in turned out to be something far more disturbing. As they reviewed the security camera footage, they noticed that the system had recorded multiple motion alerts throughout the night. But one particular detail made them freeze. Looking more closely at the footage, they spotted what appeared to be the figure of a young girl running past in the reflection of the oven door. The apparition is visible for only a brief moment, but it's enough to raise a chilling question. If no one was inside the house, then who or what ran past that reflection? To this day, there have been no further updates on this case. Now I'd like to hear your thoughts. What do you think actually appeared in that reflection? Let me know your theories in the comments. And now, let's move on to the next case. On November 14, 2025, a family rented an Airbnb to stay for a few days, never imagining they were about to experience something truly disturbing. The trip had been planned well in advance because they were attending a wedding in another city, and the house seemed like the perfect place to stay. However, everything changed one night. Shortly after returning from a walk with their dog, something completely unexpected happened.
We were just out walking my dog, and when we came in, we heard Jesus Christ.
After returning from a walk with her dog, she noticed the animal standing completely still at the bottom of the stairs, staring toward the upper floor as if it had sensed something unusual. Intrigued, she decided to go upstairs to check. As soon as she reached the top, she saw several balloons gently swaying in the air. Since the windows were open, she assumed it was just the wind. But a few seconds later, something far more disturbing happened. The leash attached to the dog's neck began to move on its own, as if an invisible force was pulling it. The dog remained perfectly still, silently watching, while the scene unfolded in a way no one could explain. But that was far from the end. The next day, Sydney decided to test whether the strange phenomenon would happen again. She placed the leash back on the dog's neck and returned to the same staircase where everything had occurred the night before. What was captured shortly after left the entire family even more unsettled.
Leash. There she goes again. I don't think the leash is gonna move, but she's definitely sensing something. Every single day.
Although the collar doesn't move again, the dog appears once more and stands still on the stairs. Moments later, it begins sniffing the rug repeatedly, as if it's searching for something. Curious about the dog's behavior, Sydney, the dog's owner, checks behind the rug, but finds absolutely nothing. It's also worth noting that every single time the dog appears, it always stops in the exact middle of the staircase, which makes the entire situation even more unsettling.
Wanted to show you guys some footage of my dog with these stairs. So here's another clip that I got of her doing it. Walk over and see her, and she was so locked into this. I think I figured out why my dog just is always hanging out right here. So I just found a door back here. So I don't think that it's what's on the stairs. I tried to check, but the door is locked. Obviously it's an Airbnb, so they lock a lot of the doors up. Yeah, I don't think that it's what's on the stairs like what I initially thought. I think it's what's below.
After discovering a hidden door beneath the staircase, Sydney and her sister decide to investigate what might be inside. But during their attempt to explore the area, they notice something that leaves them with even more questions than answers.
You guys can see their light is on right there. I wonder if
just maybe there's something right behind the door.
oh my god.
As soon as she pulled the phone out from underneath the doorknob began to turn on its own. Sydney and her sister were completely frozen by what they had just witnessed. Unable to come up with any explanation, she decided to contact the Airbnb host and asked if anyone else was staying in the house besides the two of them. The response did nothing to explain what was happening. Little did they know, the worst was still to come. Determined to uncover the truth, Sydney decided to investigate the basement, never imagining that just moments later she would experience one of the most terrifying moments of the night, when something inexplicably pulled the phone right out of her hands.
Yeah. Scary. Okay. Okay, every time we've knocked before, this doorknob would turn a little bit.
In a completely mysterious way, the phone began sliding into the basement. Right before Sydney's eyes, it moved down the stairs on its own, step by step, until it reached the very bottom. But what happened next was even more terrifying. Once it reached the bottom of the stairs, the phone suddenly began to lift off the floor as if someone was picking it up. The strangest part was that Sydney didn't have the key to the basement, making it impossible for her to go inside and retrieve it herself. The following morning, with no other option, she contacted the Airbnb host to recover her phone. However, when she later watched the video she had recorded of the host retrieving it, one disturbing detail caught her.
But there's no reason for me to go down there. But I'm waiting to start hearing things from coming underneath my house. That's it. I'm out of here. The door. Okay, well, door too. It's creepy. Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know if you noticed, but take a close look at the palm of the host's hand. There appears to be a triangular-shaped mark, and many people have pointed out that it resembles a symbol often associated with the Illuminati or some kind of secret society. There's no way to confirm whether it